Hello, my YouTube family. Welcome back to my channel. Today I bring you another episode of Revamped, the DIY series, where I show you how I take items I buy at thrift stores or may already have in my home and transform them to fit my present-day decor and style. My goal is not only to show you how easy it can be, but to inspire you to actually try it. With a fresh coat of paint and a few small details, you can create the home you dream of, even on a budget. If you want to see how I do it, then keep on watching. So I've had this small wooden table for quite some time. I stained it a couple of years ago when my decor style was, I have no idea what my decor style was, but it worked for me at the time. And now that I'm totally loving the shabby chic French country farmhouse style, yes, all three, I decided to revamp it and to make it fit my decor. First thing I do is dust it down, remove the drawer, and get it ready for some paint. I use my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint and proceed to give this 2 coats of paint. I'm certainly no professional, and thank God for chalk paint. It's so forgiving, you really can't mess this up. So the amazing people over at Cutting Edge Stencils were gracious enough to send me this gorgeous French poem stencil. If you have not heard of this company, they produce some of the most beautiful and unique decorative stencils I've ever seen. They've been featured on TV, in major design magazines, and thousands of DIY blogs, and they're made in the USA. They were also kind enough to send me this 4-piece professional stencil brush kit, which is handmade and perfect for all kinds of stencil projects. I will leave a link to their website down below. Make sure to check them out. For my stenciling, I'm going to be using this Rust-Oleum charcoal colored chalk paint. I position my stencil where I'd like it to be, and then I simply tape it down with some painter's tape. Now once my stencil is nice and flat, I take my brush, dip it in some paint, and offload the remaining paint onto a paper towel. I'm going to be showing you 2 ways to do this. I did the first part with the stencil brush, and then I finished off the piece by using a paint roller. Honestly, I like this paint roller method better. You get less bleed, and I really should have done that to begin with, but I don't get too wrapped up in all that perfection. This is supposed to be shabby chic, and thank God this style not only embraces imperfection, but it celebrates it. Now for the front of my drawer, I remembered I had this French key stencil, which I got from Michael's a while ago. And for this, I'm going to be trying this Scotch spray mount. It's repositionable adhesive, and guess what? I learned that this is really the way to go when you're stenciling. It is fantastic. All you do is shake your bottle, spray it on your stencil, and you're good to go. Your stencil isn't going anywhere. It doesn't ruin the surface that you're working with, and in my opinion, it most definitely helps with preventing that paint bleed. Now without noticing, I must have gone over the edge of the stencil with some of the black paint. No worries, I just take some white paint and cover that right up. Really, it's that easy. So I didn't want to leave the inside of my drawer white and bare, so I just measured the drawer out, and then I cut out a piece of that gorgeous black and white print contact paper that Dollar Tree has, and I just placed it inside. I then take a 220 grain sanding sponge and distress the top just a bit. Take off any remaining dust, and then I go in with my Annie Sloan chalk paint wax in the clear finish. And I like this because it doesn't make your furniture look yellow when you're done. I use a brush that I only use when I wax, and basically what I do is spread the wax on and then wax off with a t-shirt, taking off any of the remaining or excess wax. I use the same technique for the entire piece, and I let it dry for 24 hours. Now for the finishing touch, I'll use this glass knob that I picked up at Home Depot for just a couple of bucks. For my second project, I'm taking this chair I picked up at a garage sale many moons ago for only $5. I gave it to my mom to put out on her terrace, and it mysteriously made its way back to me. I guess in some ways it's pretty, but I think I can make it just a little nicer and transform it into something I really love. So I start out by giving this one coat of white paint. Don't ask me why I did this. I originally thought I was going to want this to be white, but I changed my mind, as I often do. So I decided to use my Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the color Age Gray and gave this one coat. And I had to get Max away from the paint. I have no idea what's wrong with this cat. He's like loving the smell of the paint. Wacko Jacko. So I had this stencil laying around in my craft stash. I was going to use it for another project that I never got around to. Thank God I didn't file it under G for garbage. Now you see me using painter's tape here because of the way that I edited this video. I actually did the chair before the table, but I swear to you, using the spray adhesive works so much better. So I just take my paint and I start dabbing it onto the stencil. Now I wanted to get fancy, so I used these self-adhesive stencils I picked up at Dollar Tree by Jot, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to attempt to make some type of design on the back of this chair. Again, these are self-adhesive, so you just stick them on and start painting. By the time I finished stenciling this area, this stencil fell apart on me. Thanks a lot, Jot. This chair had a raised flower design all the way around the seat, and just for some extra detail, I decided to go in with some white chalk paint, and then I rubbed it in with my fingers just to give it that weathered look. So, here's how everything turned out. I'm totally in love with these pieces, and I also love that they're now more in line with my current home decor style, and that I did it on a very small budget. I've had a couple of people tell me that painting furniture intimidates them, and I get it, because so was I at first. I really was. But once I painted one piece and saw how easy it was and how beautiful it could turn out, I was completely hooked. It's actually pretty funny. My husband has to drag me out of thrift stores, garage sales, you name it, because I want to bring everything home. We live in a small apartment, so, I don't have a lot of room. But here's the thing. I know that with a little bit of paint and some time, I can transform things and make them look new again. Are my DIYs perfect? Not by any means. There are so many things that I would have done differently with these projects, but you live and you learn, and I try not to be so hard on myself. I just try and have fun with it and just keep it moving. I hope that I inspired you to try and revamp something in your home that doesn't fit your style anymore, or that you just want to make over to give it new life. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next one.